silence fades into the night. Coyotes sing.
Hey, it's Katie, and I hope you enjoyed them little visuals there. I've been trying something new, and today we are doing a speed build, and one I am actually really proud of. Now, I don't usually say that. Well, I guess I do. I'm like, oh yeah, I like this one, because obviously otherwise if I didn't like it, I won't be sharing it, I guess. But this one I absolutely love. I'm gonna go out there and say it is probably one of, if not the best build I have done. And I know it sounds like Katie's trooping. No, Katie's blowing her own trumpet here. But I'm really proud of it. I really want to get better at building, and I've been getting little tips and tricks off other people, and I really like how this one turned out. You know, it makes a change. Because usually I sit here, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like it, but I wish I had done this, or, you know, there's just something about this bit or that bit. But with this one, I'm like, no, I really like it, and it's really strange. So I've been watching a few people doing, what are they called? Let's Builds, that's what they're called. I've been watching quite a few of them recently, which is something I wouldn't usually do. I tend to just stick with other areas of YouTube. To be honest, I know it sounds strange because I make Sims videos, but I'm not all that into Sims videos myself. Like, I don't watch that many other Sims YouTubers, although there are some incredible ones out there. I used to a few years back, but now I don't know whether it's because I do it myself or whether I just personally prefer watching more lifestyle content or things like that, but I don't really get the time anyway to watch much Sims YouTube in general. But recently I have been watching quite a few Let's Builds. I've been watching forgive me if I say this wrong, Miss Griffey, I think. I've been watching her builds. Absolutely amazing, and I just feel inspired. In fact, she did was it a roofing tutorial I think it was under? Or was it just a general how to build tutorial? I think it was a roofing tutorial, and that's where I got the idea for this roof with using the little platform, so total credit to her for that. And I just found it so helpful, and I was like, Katie, maybe if you actually put some time in and watch some of these amazing builders share their tips, you might actually, I don't know, improve your building. Who knows? But let me know what you all think in the comments down below. But, you know, be nice. Be nice. I'm not an expert builder, remember that. But I am going to try and hopefully do a few more builds. I thought I would start off small to begin with, though, because you all know me. I'll jump straight in there and be like, yeah, I've got this. I've watched one tutorial and now I can build a mansion. And then it would have gone terribly wrong. Also, I'm really slow at building. I don't know whether that's just... I don't know why. I don't know why, because it's not like I particularly procrastinate whilst I'm building. I am quite like, I focus on the job at hand, but I'm quite slow, and that's why I expected this video to end up being probably about, I don't know, 13, 14, maybe 15 pushing it minutes, but I think we're up at 17. I put it into my editor and I was like, phew, Katie, you've got a long voiceover today, my friend. And I don't know how, because it's a very small build, and I have actually cut sections out, like sections of me placing stones repetitively, which I'm sure you're probably not that interested in. It's coming up in a minute, actually. So I don't know how we've ended up with a video this long. In fact, if you make Sims videos, please inform me. How do you keep your speed builds short? Because I've always struggled with this. For one, I'm not the best at voiceovers. This is my first attempt at this one. Probably won't be my last, but we'll see how it goes. Saying I haven't done a voiceover in like a number of months is probably not going to go very well. In fact, no, that's a lie. I did a challenge. I did create some challenges, so I have done a voiceover. Anyway, I struggle with long voiceovers because I'm not that interesting and I don't have that much to say. Or do I? I obviously can't talk either. Although I do have a tendency and a knack, I guess you could say, for rambling at times. And B, I've lost my original train of thought. What was I doing A and B for? What was I doing it for? Why I don't like long build? I think that was it. And B, I like to keep them short and sweet. I think I'm on the same train of thought. If I'm not, just ignore me. I'm getting a little bit confused here. I'm trying to watch the build at the same time. And B, I don't enjoy particularly long builds. I don't know, there's just something about a build I personally want to keep it short and sweet, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm rambling again. However, I have managed 5 minutes. I have had a few mess ups. Don't get me wrong, but I have managed 5 minutes. Here you are, you see me placing the stones, and I thought, gosh, we can't sit through an extra 2.5 minutes of that, can we now? So cut that out. Yeah, I didn't do much in that 2.5 minutes, as you can see. I placed a little fountain, but decided to scrap that because it just wasn't doing it for me. And I placed a few hedges and, stuff like that. I also really struggle with landscaping. Maybe I should watch a landscaping tutorial next. I don't know, because half of me wants to fill up the whole lot and build a whole fenced off garden and do a backyard and things like that. But then other times I'm just like, do I really want to do a back garden? Does this look right? And things like that. Because I never know whether to do a back garden or not. It's a very pressing issue. I sit there wondering whether to do a back garden or not. Because you do it like that and it looks fine. When I say like that, I mean how it is now. And it looks fine. You're like, okay, this looks like a house. But then you're like, but it doesn't have any back garden, but technically it has land at the back. So you see, you still got some of your plot. But then you start to place a little fence, and you're like, with a fence it just doesn't look right. But then without the fence, you've kind of just got an exposed back garden. And if you're thinking about it realistically, you wouldn't just have a plot of land and a back garden with, say, a pool or a barbecue or a seating area or a kids' play area without it being fenced off from the public land next to your own plot, would you? So I kind of get thrown a little bit and I kind of just sit there not knowing what to do. So if you have any advice for that, let your girl know. But no, I've always found that an issue. I wish there was more clear boundaries in a way between your plot and the outside world. Because obviously in real life, the plots are very clearly defined, but in The Sims, it's not. It's just it's not. I don't know where I'm going with this. But also, that's another thing that gets me with the plots is I don't use terrain tools. Here we're going with the A's and the B's and the C's again. Because they're incredibly hard to use, the terrain tools are. Half of it I think is my ability, and half of it I just think is they're just hard to use. In fact, most of it's probably me, but I think in general I get the gist that other people do struggle to use them. They're just so fiddly, and you do one click and you get a massive mountain in the middle of your lot. Terrain tools, I can't be bothered with them. I just can't deal with them. But as well, they just don't look right because the outside world itself, outside of your plot, doesn't really carry on the same dimension, you know what I mean? So I've always wanted to build, in fact I did do a build, this must have been, years ago now, I don't want to think about how long I've been doing this for, but it must have been at least 2 or 3 years ago. I bet it was 2017. No, it must have 2016 even. Oof, feel old. No, it must have been about at least 2 years ago. I did a build of a house on a mountain, but obviously at that time we didn't have terrain tools, and I had to use the actual rooms and just paint them stone on the outside to try and simulate a mountain. Didn't look very good, but the thing is, now if you tried to do that with the terrain tools, it still wouldn't really look right because outside of that plot is pretty flat, so you've just got a flat world and flatness in general, and then you've just got this massive hump. And as well, I also find it really difficult to build on top of the terrain tools. You get little gaps, or it ends up going all blocky and you can't smooth it out, and I'm just I just want a nice little mound for my house to sit on. I just want a little hump. I don't want a spike, I don't want a mountain. I just want a little bit of humpiness to my lot, to give it just that little bit of natural edge, but I just can't have it. I just can't, because the terrain tools are just there so bad. Anyway, moving on. Today is meant to be, what day is it today? It's Tuesday today. I don't even know what day it is anymore. No, it is Tuesday today, but I've been scrolling through the Twitter like I usually do. I should really post more on there. I'm an active browser, but I just never post. Anyway, that's irrelevant as most of what I'm saying is. And I've seen a few people very hyped because they think it's a pack release day. Not a pack release, but a pack announcement day, which I'm very excited for, because our last pack was Strangeville, I want to say. Let me just rack me memory for a second. Was it Strangeville? I believe it was Strangeville. So our last pack was Strangeville. Everyone was like, oh, it's going to be university next. But then there was, I don't know whether this got discredited or not, but then there was a leak that it was going to be Tropical Paradise, which got me immediately excited, because if you know me, you know that I am #1 fan of The Sims 3 Island Paradise. It is just, it is the creme de la creme of the Sims 3 expansion packs. I absolutely love it. So if we could have something like that in The Sims 4, probably won't be as good. I don't want to be a pessimist, but, you know, probably won't be, considering we don't even have the ocean at this point. But I would absolutely love that. I just love island theme packs. It just makes me want to jet off to Mallorca or somewhere and just like sun myself on the beach. Anyway, so that was a leak. There was some information about that. I don't know exactly what it was, but that got all like a lot of hype around it. I think people are waiting for EA Play though, perhaps, for a leak, but I don't know. I just saw a few posts being like, oh, I wonder if we're going to get a pack announcement this week, and I got a bit excited about it. I would like Tropical Paradise first. I know a lot of people would like University next. Me, yeah, I would take it. I'll take anything at this point. Give me more content, please. I need it. We've had a bit of a drought. What else would I like? I can't even think of anything else at this point. I'll take whatever you give me. just make it good. My expectations aren't high at this point. You know, you could just give me oceans and mermaids in a pack and I'll be happy. But to be honest, that would never happen, would it? Because, you know, mermaids would probably be an extra £15 game pack on top of it. So, you know, that would never happen. I used to love that in Sims 3. You used to build up your lifetime points and, like, buy a piece of special kale. Was it kale? I think, and used to munch on the kale and become a mermaid. And I was like, oh, yes, if only I could do this and get scaly legs. But, you know, like good scaly legs, not like dry skin scaly legs. But it's good to be a mermaid, although ocean's kind of scary. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent because I've ran out of things to say, as you can probably tell. Anyway, let's talk about the actual build. Interior, I tried to go quite modern because it kind of matched the vibe of the outside, but I stuck with like blues and oranges. I tried to stop myself going for the navy blue. I always go for navy blue, and I decided to not do that today because I decided to try and not be so repetitive. I really struggle with the interior. Well, I not so much struggle with it, but struggle with choosing different themes, I guess. Like I'm quicker with it now than I used to be, but only because I found a style and I just follow the same patterns every time, if you know what I mean. So every time I do a build, no matter what it looks like on the outside, I always use the same objects. Like I'll use the same curtains, I'll use the same plant pots, I'll use the same sofas, and I'll have the same colour schemes. And I want to try and stop myself doing that, because I think the best builds are ones that are very individual and different. And like, I love watching builders who can just effortlessly, well, probably not effortlessly, it's probably harder than it looks, just recreate a style. Like, even no matter what the home looks like on the outside, they can make it very individual and unique on the inside, whether it's to completely match the exterior or to be completely different and just, you know, a totally different world from the exterior. I just think it's a proper talent, you know, to be able to just think of a style, say like, oh, Japanese, and be able to recreate that inside, or, you know, like, I don't know, 70s style, and be able to do that inside, because I just tend to, you know, get a bit of wooden planked wall and get a few of them like lily pots and like the big tall plant pots, and maybe throw in a bit of navy blue, and I call it a day. But we're gonna try and change that. Who knows, I might even try and build a traditional home next. I'm not one for traditional, to be honest. To be honest though, I don't really do that modern homes. Would you call this modern? It's modern, but it's not like futuristic modern, you know what I mean? Like, it's not oldie worldy, but it's not like 2030 here I come. Anyway, the bedroom was very small, so it was a bit of a challenge. Don't really know if it's entirely functional. I know a lot of other simmers do actually player test their homes, so, you know, you can actually use them, but not me. I live life on the edge. Can you use the bed? Who knows? Maybe your sim will pass out, but it doesn't matter because it looks half decent, I guess. So I don't know if you can actually use it or whether it's functional. I did put a sim in to take screenshots, and all they did was sit on the sofa downstairs. So at least we know the sofa works. At least we know that works. But as for the bed and all that, not entirely sure. But I guess you could always have a rejig. My logic with this is make it look nice, and then when you're actually playing, take away the niceness and just have functionability. Is that word functionability? I think it is. We're going to say it is. We're going to say it is anyway. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm actually playing a household, I just have really simple houses. Like, a house like this would probably be too much for me to play in. And I say too much, even though it's like the tiniest of houses. But I just like it to be really basic, easy to use, easy to spot your sims in. I've been doing Rags to Riches, and I'm on the 3rd generation of it. I started it on New Year's Day, actually, so I've been going at it for quite a while. But I built them like this massive mansion. And I just, it takes me forever to find where they are. I have to like scan every single room. So I prefer smaller homes and like ones with not too much clutter, ones you can play in easily, and like ones you can change up a bit as well. You know, if you need an extra room because your sim's having a baby, it's not too hard to change around. I just think for playing that's better. But then at the same time, I like to have a good build and like have a bit of an imagination and think, oh, if I was gonna live here, what I wanted to look like. So in that sense, I like to go all out in the clutter, if you get what I mean. Let me know, do you prefer playing with cluttered houses or simple ones? Personally, I prefer not to make my life a stress and have my sims go frantic about having extra clutter on a kitchen counter, you know what I mean? You know when they like open the fridge and they're like, oh no, there's a kitchen roll and a plant on that kitchen counter, I can't use it. So they just go into a panic and put the mac and cheese on the floor, and then you end up having to delete half the stuff, and then it just looks terrible. Yeah, I tend to keep it simple. Anyway, here I am messing around with a little bit of a garden. I thought because I was getting all stressed out about should I do a back garden, should I not, I'll just do a little side one, and I think it looks okay. I like the fence. I do like it. I think it's just, you know, a little bit of zhoosh to the build. Anyway, here are the screenshots. I'm sorry about the rambling. Not used to doing voiceovers anymore, but I'm going to try and get back in it anyway. I really enjoyed doing this build. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it too, despite my very rambly voiceover. So I'll leave you with the screenshots now, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video of mine. Sorry for not uploading for a little while. Life's been a bit mad, but I'm going to try and get on top of uploads. So once again, I'll see you guys in the next video of mine. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, whatever. Bye, guys.